welcome to the Unix AMA. We have a very special guest. I'm Henry Davids. Next to me is William from Fight Legends, the CEO of Fight Legends. Very excited to have you guys. We've been following you since a while already. See a lot of development going on, very exciting things going on. Very exciting to have you here, William. And thank you so much for making time to share more about your amazing project and give some value to your Unix family as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, my pleasure. Also, if you stick to the end of this AMA, we have a nice giveaway. We always community questions are welcome as well. Yes, let's straight dive deep into this AMA, William. Thanks again for being here, and thanks for wanting to go deeper into Fight Legends and everything what you guys have to offer. But before, please introduce yourself a little bit. Please share a bit more.
Yeah. Look, a little bit of my background. I came from combat sports before I got heavy into crypto. So I've been running MMA events across Australia for 12 years. I was heavily involved in the MMA Federation, sort of building the sport on a foundational level across the country and supporting the national team overseas at world championships, that sort of thing. And I've directorshipped and founded a charity that ran for several years, helping survivors of abuse through martial arts. So most of my background comes from, I guess, that sort of thing, fight shows and charities for 12 or so years, which built, I've got a very big network in the martial arts and combat sports world. And as I came more and more into crypto, on and off over the last 6 years, but during COVID, I just found myself gravitating towards it. And started this year, I was full-time playing in the play-to-earn space, hunting moonshots and shitcoins, getting caught up in the BSC wave, all of that. And then I found myself gravitating toward other projects and sort of learning how they ran and functioned and the marketing side of everything. And I realized it's something I could totally contribute to. I really wanted to help build out a space in the metaverse that my network could resonate with. And for me, in the new digital world, that's gaming, man. Like I've always wanted to, since I was a little kid, I wanted to have a game studio and pump out games. You know, I've just always wanted to create games. I love gaming. If it wasn't martial arts, I was playing games to escape my life for most of my younger years. So that's what I did. That's sort of what we started. I'm like, right, we're going to build a studio. I'm going to get the support of my martial arts network. We'll make a fight game. We'll make the best fight game in the space. You know, I told one of the very first people to come on board, a good friend of mine, that he's an indie game developer, killer, very, very smart man. I'm like, within 12 months, we're going to be working with OG Street Fighter devs. You know, this is the game we're building. We're going to build the Street Fighter of crypto. And we're inspired by more than just Street Fighter, and we're creating our own innovations and uniqueness. But for me, that was the dream, and we've basically turned that into a reality already. We've got our very first test demo launching, so we're kind of live now, and ready to sort of gradually release our game over the next 12 months.
All right, that's huge. Thanks a lot for sharing that, William. So you've been into the street fighting and street fighting, like UFC and martial arts, organizing events and being there as well. So and next to that, you've been getting into the crypto, you're getting into the whole the BSC run, as you said, and getting into gaming and all that stuff. And while you were doing all that things, you had in mind, okay, I can do this. You know, we can create an epic game with all my with the context, it's doing the fight sports, and you guys actually start to build something really nice and something really exciting to look forward to. So congrats a lot for everything you achieved so far.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and for sure, awesome that you just go for your dreams, just go for it and get everything out what you can. Again, thanks a lot for sharing that, William. You want to have the good fighting game, and can you tell me more about next to fighting game, what else? Can you go get a little bit deeper into it?
Yes. So do you mean outside of the game?
Yeah, the whole project. Can you tell me?
Yeah, Look, originally the project, when we started off, there was sort of an even focus across starting to seed the creatives of the game. So seeding the concept and building out but we are so early on in that phase that it's very much sketches and concepts and creating stuff that you're not going to ever see again because you're playing with the ideas to create it. So while we were doing that, we got busy on the other kind of traits of our brand, right? Which is uniting the martial arts world and starting to bring them behind our brand into our community, building partnerships with global MMA and kickboxing federations and continental and national federations, and some very big businesses with very big databases in that scene. We started building out those partnerships and doing some charity work as well. So like we started our fight fund. We figured we were going to start that once we had funding, but we figured we might as well get the ball rolling straight away. So very early on, we held a kickboxing championship in a refugee camp for 153 refugee kids.
Okay, wow.
We started supporting anti-child sex trafficking in the Philippines to sort of begin the framework of our social good using our martial arts network. So these are the sort of things we started seeding outside of the game, and that will continue. So forever long, a slice of our fee from our in-game transactions will go towards the fight fund, where we were able to enact social good using our martial arts network and our crypto funding to make the world a better place for disadvantaged people and to bring them into martial arts and give them opportunity, and as well bring them into esports for those that, for whatever reason, gravitate towards esports instead of martial arts. But helping disadvantaged people through that fund is very important. Another huge opportunity that will come outside of the game is providing basic NFT technologies to large networks of martial arts competitors and spectators and events. So, the proof of attendance, proof of competition, proof of record, we can start integrating NFTs into these large networks, these large federations as a use case, and start onboarding the martial arts world bit by bit onto the blockchain, which inevitably ends up being a metaverse type situation where we create a global social space in the metaverse for the martial arts world. But that's sort of outside the game. It's not a major focus right now. It's just an opportunity we have on the table, and we will continue to build slowly in the background with our partners. But by far the primary build and focus and everything is Fight Legends, because it's such a large scale game. This isn't just, it's very easy to make a fight game, and we're going to see dozens of little fight games pop up. But close inspection reveals the difference between a fight game and like an esports fight game. The precision in an top tier esports fight game is just, it requires a team of very experienced people leading, and then a very large team beneath them. And it requires the right ingredients and the right direction and the right strategy, and it's long term. And it's such a big project. We expect to have over 100 staff in our game studio by December. And we keep on expanding after that. We're not even at full capacity on our plans in December. So it's a big project.
It sounds huge. Yeah. I love the charity aspect as well, of course. So, big plans. You want to be the number one fight game out there, really on esports level, and really crush the game within that. And you said you're gonna have a very huge team from December. But can you tell me a bit more about the team behind it? Like, who are the people behind it and working on it?
Sure. So right now the studio has 9 full-time staff. Obviously, I mentioned Dalen just before, my very, very special friend who's leading development and kind of head of the studio, general manager. He's my partner in this. But in that studio, man, we've got Jason, our stage designer, designed stages for Street Fighter V. Show is a pseudonym. His name will be revealed shortly when his contract expires. But we brought on board one of the best animators in the world for fight games. Led animation for Tekken 5, Tekken 4, Soul Calibur. Currently working, I probably shouldn't say, but works for us 30 hours per week contracted for a very short time, and then comes on board full time. But Show's one of the he's one of the greatest. To give you an example, right? Your standard animator, like a mid-range animator, can pump out animations of a higher quality because he's an animation director, but he can do it at nearly double the rate of a mid-range animator. So not only is it better, it's twice as fast, which for us, being a small studio growing rapidly and trying to produce as much as we can as we do that, having him on board has been incredible. And I've played like 8 of the games this dude made. And he has gone and brought us some people who I won't announce right now, but another AMA perhaps. We've still got some contracts to sign, but we're about to bring on board up to half a dozen OG fight game creators, developers, and designers. There's nothing equivalent in the space. Like, there's some amazing games in the space with amazing teams, yes, but I don't think there's a game yet that has people of this like fame, stature, like, you know what I mean? And especially not fight games. So as all this comes together over the next week or so, it's going to be a very, very exciting announcement. But aside from them, like our character artist, Josephine, she's incredible. Our modelers are incredible. The people we have working under these seniors are incredible. We've spent 6 months experimenting with who fits the role, who doesn't, bringing people on and working with people to find the right people. And it's worth taking longer. It's worth being patient and taking a bit of extra time to get that quality, because now as we start to pull the trigger on our token launch and our NFT drop and everything else, it's going to be special. It's blue chip. We'll be blue chip from day one.
Awesome, man. I see your excitement in your eyes when you speak about it. Yeah, that's.
I wish I could say more. I really wish I could give you these names, but I can't. Not yet.
All good. Next time we hope to hear them. So yeah, you're speaking also about the token launch, an NFT drop. Yeah, can you tell more about that? Like you're gonna have the token launch where on what chain? On what chain is gonna be that?
So we recently made the decision to rebuild our token on Polygon and integrate the lossless utility. So Lossless work with a paid group. They're an anti-hacking utility. So they basically, in the case of hacking or whatever, they can freeze the funds and turn them to the owner. And so they're working with big brands, and it's kind of new, but it's getting a lot of support from larger brands, larger projects than us. So I feel like we're just an early adopter of what will become fairly standard. So that's really good. Makes the token extra safe. But building on Polygon for us is about, one, it's nice to bring Polygon NFTs and a Polygon token together and just be on Polygon. It's nice uniformity initially. Obviously, in the future, it's all about interoperability. It's all about bringing, multi-chain NFTs into the one space. And that's getting better and better, but that's not something we need to develop. That's a third-party thing that someone else will develop. And they are developing already, that we can begin plugging in, and it's going to do better than us. But to begin with, being on Polygon, I think is going to give us a lot of extra support from the ecosystem. I feel that Binance Smart Chain's great and wonderful, but when I look at the Binance Smart Chain NFT ecosystem and the Polygon NFT ecosystem, and I look at the token ecosystem, I see Polygon as less crowded with scams. Obviously, it's less crowded with those money grabs and all that. It's more game focused. So it's a bit cleaner and a bit quieter. There's still good volume, and the rate at which volume's growing in Polygon is obviously higher than BSC, even though it hasn't caught up. And obviously, look, getting support if we can hopefully get support from Polygon Studios and Polygon Founders Fam, I think that will carry us a long way. And I think that's much more attainable through Polygon than it is through BSC. So we made that choice. Very happy with that.
Awesome. I definitely agree with that. I think Polygon is a great decision to go to, especially there are going to be more serious games, and yeah, BSC already has a name as well. And yeah, for sure, they're getting a lot of amazing things developed right now on Polygon. So
Totally.
That's
Totally.
that's I think a great move. Yeah, and about the NFT drop, that's also going to be on Polygon. Can you tell more about that? Like, are the NFT drops going to have like characters, or like what's going to be the NFT? Like...
Sure. So our NFTs are essentially releasing in 3 initial stages or phases. So our first phase already began. That's the Bloody Faces, we called them. The Bloody Faces are, a creepy combat sports cult, I guess, like a secret society within the Fight Legends universe, kind of like the Illuminati crossed with Fight Club. Like it's a little bit dark and it's a little bit grimy, and it's really designed to give us a club to the people that have already been supporting us and the earliest adopters as we move forward. So it's 3,333 unique NFTs. Each one is like a Rorschach test, the ink blot psychology test, but made of blood. It's designed to be a little bit hardcore. If you own one of them, you get into a site that's no one else can get into. It's basically the Clubhouse, which we're developing out. So our game studio is actually rebuilding that site right now as a full 3D experience. So you, like the Bored Ape toilet that you can go graffiti on the Bored Ape Yacht Club wall. Well, when you've got a Bloody Face, you'll come into the headquarters of the Bloody Faces and you'll have an exclusive NFT shop with exclusive in-game NFTs that no one can buy outside of this shop that we'll update irregularly. And obviously the Bloody Faces can then sell them on the open market to the other gamers. It's just a little treat to make it more realistic. As well, Bloody Faces can actually play our game right now, so they can play the test build. Test build. This is a build that normally in a studio, only the internal testing team would play. But what we've done is we've made it so that anyone that holds an NFT can come straight in, play the game, click feedback, give us feedback if they notice something, if they want to talk about the animation or the graphics or there's a bug, whatever it is, they can give us feedback and communicate and essentially be a decentralized testing team for our game. And those people are going to play and watch this game grow bit by bit by bit, from a little seed with one stage, one fighter, half his moves, all the way up to a fully fleshed out game over the months, which is really exciting. On top of that, those people, the Bloody Faces that are playing, we're going to give out prizes and airdrops and run little mini tournaments for them as a testing team tournament. So they're already going to be getting value back there. It's pretty cool. We'll probably look at creating a DAO out of the Bloody Faces, because we want that community to take some responsibility within the wider Fight Legends community, to sort of lead culture and create culture around them. So that'll be very exciting, especially as we grow. When we've got 100,000 players, 1 million players, and there's only 3,000 Bloody Faces who get privilege in the game and get special items and get to create tournaments and connect to the team on a deeper level, I think it'll be very attractive for people to come into that, because it kind of blurs the lines between reality and fantasy, right? You're in this fantasy game, in this fantasy secret society, but in reality, you get to have a say, you get to have votes, you get to create tournaments for the players within Fight Legends, you get perks and items, and you get privilege. And I think that's powerful. I think privileged utility, a lot of NFT drops work off privilege, like exclusivity. You're in the club or you're not. But what's the utility of that exclusivity? So if you can up the utility of exclusivity, I think it'll be quite powerful, especially as users grow. That's the Bloody Faces. So they're already live. It's a stealth drop. You can go to bloodyfaces.io, use your Matic wallet, go in the door in the alleyway, smash the demon. It's all interactive, and you'll be one of the Bloody Faces, and then you can go up and download the game. Next up is the trainers. So first we do trainers. These guys are the guys in the game that you put them in your gym and they help your fighters level up. The better trainer you've got, the faster your fighters will level up. Same in the fight. If you assign a trainer to your player as you're fighting, single player or NFT mode multiplayer, PvP, you'll get a slight buff to your stats. So it might be a speed-based trainer or a strength-based trainer, and that will apply a slight buff, because our fighters are living. because they're NFTs, right? So our fighters level up, and you can even upgrade different traits. So every fighter starts to become a little bit more unique within the very clearly defined parameters of that fight character, which is important in esports games. So creating that balance. So trainers are awesome. They will definitely impact the rate of play to earn. So they will have increasing value. We'll do a Gen 1 trainer drop in about 2 months. We're just seeing which of our group of artists is going to be working on it on the finals there. And there could be an incredible announcement there as well. But yeah, we'll expect the trainers over the next 2 months and then the fighters after that.
Awesome. That about NFT. So the first Bloody Face are already out. It's going to be really like exclusive version of the drop where you have get more exclusive access to them as a DAO and a lot of interesting things what you're going to get with it. So yeah, down below is going to be the link. You can go straight and buy it and be one of the first ones who can really play the game as well. And then see what's going on. So thanks a lot for sharing that about a token, about NFT. And I want to get a bit deeper about the game itself, of course. And first of all, is it going to be free to play, or do you need an NFT to buy to play the game? And can you tell more about that?
So players will need an NFT to earn. Outside of having a fighter NFT and being able to earn, players will be able to play the game without NFTs. But what they will be able to play is a very small roster of fighters that's on a rotating roster, and they'll only be able to play the non-NFT modes. So basic PvP, basic PvE. So you're not really getting the full experience until we come to full release, when we target the outside of crypto market a lot more heavily. And at that point, we really want to prime the mainstream world to experience our game without ever realizing they're using NFTs. Now, the rules will still apply. So they'll still be using NFT fighters if they want to accrue currency in the game, but they won't realize. They won't need to connect the wallet. They'll just come play the game, set up an account, and away they go. They want to buy a fighter that earns, do it. Away they go. And on the back end, we'll be we'll be managing all of that. And if ever that mainstream player from outside of crypto realizes, hey, I like crypto. Oh yeah, I've been playing a game that's play to earn. They can go log in on their account on the computer, connect the crypto wallet, and activate the NFTs and the currency that they've been accruing that whole time. So we'll be able to onboard a lot of mainstream gamers with the strategies we have in plan, which is a big problem for crypto games. So we've got some killer strategies to do that. Stepping back a bit, importantly for the next 12 months and beyond, the play-to-earn space, and can free-to-play, play-to-earn players earn? And so that's what we've created. We've created a free-to-earn model. So it's really just streamlining a bit of the sponsorship model, the scholarship model, sorry. So players can earn NFT fighters, which will earn. They can then click put out to hire, and they can put that fighter out to hire. Then a player can come along for free, grab that fighter from the list, and just start playing. And the rewards will be split between the player and the owner, just all automatically. Attraction for guilds in a game where scholarships basically happen automatically is that we're also integrating federations or guilds, or we haven't decided on the branding yet, but essentially we make it attractive for guilds to come in and create a network of gyms in the game, and they will be their scholars, that's their scholarship program all within their umbrella. So they'll be able to compete in guild versus guild tournaments and ranking tournaments, and there'll be additional rewards for the biggest guilds winning the most. And so they're incentivized because guilds and large networks of scholars exist. In our game, you can bypass that because a player can just go straight to an owner. They split the revenue automatically. No one's needed to help. So what we want to do is encourage those big networks of guilds to come into the game. And that's where the federations come into, or the faction play. That's where that mechanic comes in. So yeah, look, free to play, free to earn, better if you buy.
Yes, yes.
And a great opportunity for people who aren't going to play the game to just buy fighters and put them out to hire, right? Passive
Awesome.
income.
Yes, I get it. Thanks a lot for sharing that. So, you need an NFT to earn in the game. But you guys also thinking about a scholarship system where you can, like, people with NFTs can hire them, and then you can grab that NFT and play with it, so also earn.
Absolutely.
And yes, you will earn fight token, and but like, can you tell me more about like the investment as well, right? So people are gonna play, but people also gonna invest in the token, and as a long-term project, you want to have the token price going up instead of going down, of course. So what are you planning to do with that? So, like, can you tell me more about the burning mechanisms, or how you're gonna keep the price up for long term?
Yeah, absolutely. So Fightcoin is the primary currency in the game, right? So it's the most valuable currency in the game. It's got a limited supply, and it will have a reduced supply through using Fightcoin, allowing players to purchase assets using Fightcoin, and then putting that Fightcoin in a treasury and releasing only a fraction of that to the gamers as a reward. So instead of releasing 100% of the money the Fightcoin spent back into the ecosystem, it might be at a ratio of 0.8 or 80%. So there's a 20% burn, essentially, or 20% lockup on every bit of Fightcoin being spent in the game, which obviously creates hyperdeflation. That's the main one for Fight. Obviously, our secondary common currency, which is like, Thetan coin, I believe. If you're familiar with Thetan Arena, it's a pretty solid model, having a premium limited and a secondary uncapped minting and burning currency for the churn and burn, right? And both of them have burning mechanisms, as do our NFTs. So I probably shouldn't segue there. It's not really a question, but I will cover it. Each of the fighters in our game comes in 5 rarities, and it's obviously advantageous to get up to the rarest one will earn the most, have the best stats, and have the full set of moves. So you want to get to the legendary rarity if you can. In our game, players will be able to collect 3 common, for example, of one fighter, and then burn those 3 common NFTs for one of the higher level up. So you'll be able to go up to uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. Essentially 81 common of one fighter type creates one legendary. So it creates this sort of pyramid of burning NFTs, which reduces the common supply and stops that. You always get you always get an accumulation of numbers at the bottom end and a vast reduction in value per NFT. So we want to stop that by cleaning it up with an auto burn mechanism that's gamified and incentivized. So burning or locking mechanisms across all currencies in the game and across NFTs. I just keep seeing time and time again in projects that get really big, they scale. And then the problem is, and with Axie Infinity as well, like the problem is now we have to start burning where we weren't, and it's, if you can learn from that and make that part of the blueprint from day one, I think you have a very solid, trajectory.
PegAxie is doing really well, with really limited supply, for sure.
Important.
Yes, it's really important. All right, thanks a lot for sharing that. And are there some other things that you want to share about the game itself? I
don't know. I mean, we've started bringing across some fighters. Bob Sapp from Pride FC, he's massive in Japan. I believe everyone over the age of 30 from Japan knows who Bob Sapp is. I've brought him into meetings with our incredible game developers that are coming in and people, everyone's just like, oh, Bob Sapp.
Huge AFC fighter, right? UFC.
Yeah, he was in the NFL, then he was in Pride FC, he was in The Longest Yard, he's been in like 6 Hollywood movies. Like, Bob Sapp knows all the stars. He's like, do you want me to call Mike Tyson? I'm like, not yet. Right, give me a month or 2. But we brought him and a former world champion heavyweight boxer, Shannon Briggs. they've come into our game. And Ross Levine, he's younger, he's Rookie of the Year in Karate Combat, which is the world's biggest full contact pro karate tournament. Like they're cutting edge. George St. Pierre hosts it with Bass Rutten, like badass people. So he's on a tear, and he trains and fights with UFC guys as well. So we've got those three guys in the game already, which sort of brings that element of reality into our Street Fighter game. And we're going to bring approximately 30% of the fighters in our game will be real world combat sports stars. So MMA champions, boxing champions, kickboxing champions. There's a couple A-grade Hollywood action movie actors that we have been starting to talk to. And I think one's received an MOU from so we went to the karate coach of Jason Statham and we're like, hey man, let's get Jason into the game. And he's like, yeah, I can do that for you. And also let me invest. So he came on board, and now we're basically going to fill 30% with top tier actors and fighters from the real world, which is exciting, right? That's going to bring a lot of clout. We're currently recruiting a Bored Ape character. So we'll be licensing a Bored Ape Yacht Club character. But as I said, 5 rarities and 5 skins means we need to find 5 Bored Apes to license. We found a few. And 5 mutant apes, because we'll do a mutant ape and a Bored Ape, which will, that'll capture the Bored Ape community and really get their interest in our game and sort of give it that. I think in a metaverse Street Fighter, it's important to give a nod to blue chip NFT projects. Bring them in, involve them. And we've got a lot of cool ways to involve other projects. So that's exciting. Artem Lebov's coming into the game as well. Shit, my battery's going to die. So yeah, really, really cool. I can show you a bit of a demo if you like.
Yes, please. That'd be cool.
Give me 2 secs. I just have to change where I am. Apologies. Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm still here.
For sure. We're waiting for you here.
Screen share for you. Hopefully this works. Okay, 2 secs. I think you need to enable screen sharing on your end, brother. Yeah, give me 2 secs. Thank you. Okay. So is that sharing? Can you see the game, your end? Okay, so this is just a little bit of UI, UX. Here we'll be able to list our NFTs.
I think we're not sharing it yet on the main channel.
Oh.
Yes, now we do. Perfect, thank you.
Now we are? Oh, beautiful. Yes. There we go. Yeah, so here, this is obviously going to upgrade a little bit along the way, but already we're sort of demonstrating this will be your gym. Every player will have a gym, and your home gym is where you put your fighters when you want them to level up. So they basically train in your gym. It's where you interact with your items and your trainers. And down the line, we're going to be monetizing the gym ecosystem as well. So players will be able to upgrade their gyms and train more fighters, level up more fighters, increase the rate of leveling up, possibly even hire out bigger gyms to lower level players, really start to create that sort of metaverse within a fight game, expanding bit by bit. Because as gamers will know, traditionally fight games are very arcade. There's not a lot of depth in a fight game. It's all about the PvP and the action. It's not so much about the storyline, about the player options, about the extra stuff. And we're really bringing that into this space. So you pop over to Arena. Here you'll be able to quick match, just jump in a queue and wait for someone to join you. Or you can pop over to training match, which we'll do now because there's probably no one online.
Boom.
I turned music on.
Final round. Fight.
As you can see, it looks a lot like Street Fighter, right? It's very Street Fighter-esque. This is the first stage that Jason Clock designed. We wanted something that felt like home, felt small, felt old school gym, but in a sort of cyberpunk city. And obviously what you're looking at here, this is a stage that went straight from our stage designer to our developer, which is, and it already looks incredible. But this stage is about to undergo a technical artist, prop designer, lighting. Like there's another 3 or 4 people that are going to be working on this stage and this character, as with every other stage we have, to really make it special. So, but as you can see, once you guys get your hands on this and have a play, it feels weighted, it feels heavy, but it also feels snappy. Like you can feel the proper weighting of the character. You can feel the timing. And this is something you can't actually feel in the crypto space as regards to fight games right now. Like this doesn't exist yet, this level. And this is only our first iteration. Every week we are updating this build. So yeah, that's it really. Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's special.
Cool.
I'll have to play you, Henri. You'll have to jump on and
Sure.
Where's my camera gone?
Yeah, your camera's off.
Oh my goodness, my camera's not coming back now.
Oh shit.
You may not get to see my pretty face any longer. Is that a problem? Are we able to talk or?
Huge problem. No, of course, we're able to talk.
I'm just in video settings. Sorry about that. I don't know why that's happening.
All good. Can happen. Yes, appreciate you sharing the in-game play, and people with the bloody face can play this right now, right? They can go in and check it out.
Oh, absolutely. People with bloody faces can go to the website. They'll be able to download the game. Just click play now. It'll verify you've got a bloody face in your wallet, and then it will give you a download link, and it'll prompt you to add your username and password. So you'll have your own login. And from that point on, you'll install the client and can play whenever you wish. And people can jump in the Discord. Look, if someone comes into the Discord at a time where I've decided to play someone on my team or I've jumped into Discord myself, I'm happy to play someone and fight them for an NFT. I'll give away some of my shitty NFTs to gamers. If anyone can beat me, come and beat me and I'll give you one of my floor NFTs from my collection. Like come and challenge me. I want to make this journey really fun and really accessible for everyone. I want everyone to feel like they're part of our big family.
Gotcha,
yeah,
that's cool.
Come and play.
That's awesome. Appreciate that. So yeah, within the game, it looks cool. And like, when do you think it's gonna be really like on a level like alpha, like on a level that people can really play this and earn? And when do you think that will be done?
Look, I think full play to earn will be switched on mid-year, but prior to that, we'll be testing earns. So we'll be testing play to earn mechanisms, and we will be giving out real rewards as well. So we're actually discussing holding a big tournament end of March. So sort of a pre-alpha tournament, whether that's a multi-day ranking tournament or a tournament event. We're still working on the finer details. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're hoping that our first monetized cash prize tournaments and rankings are happening late March. But realistically, full play to earn is more of a mid-year situation. And that will likely be a build of the game that has 8 fully fleshed fighters with all 5 rarities, so 40 different varieties of fighter, 8 stages, 1 world, essentially, like a full packaged game. And then from that point, we'll release another 8 fighters, 8 stages, 1 region ideally every 8 weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's faster, like pretty fast. A lot of things going on, but like the full developed game with play to earn mechanics that will be like around mid this year.
Yeah,
that's great. And yeah, you also mentioned that this is going to be a very long-term project, and yeah, this is going to be something that you're going to be working on for a long time. Okay, share a bit more about a vision. Like, how would you see Fight Legends within a couple of years? And
in a couple of years, Fight Legends will be it'll be one of the most talked about fight games on the planet in a couple of years. I see it being, at the top of the pack with all crypto games, with all crypto-based play-to-earn NFT gaming. I think we'll be at the top of the pack there, right next to Star Atlas and Ember Sword, and like anything that's high AAA quality. We're going to be right there next to them. The fact is that the next phase of gaming is about quality, right? It's about quality of game, AAA games, top-tier games. That's what separates the good games from the other 99% of the games that are being launched for money, right? So in a couple of years, as of December, on our strategy, between now and December is like 99% focus on the crypto space. It's on building the first user base, the first 100,000 to 1 million players, and building a big play to earn economy. After December, it's about attacking the mainstream. And we've already been building partnerships there with fight game community esports leagues, and other strategic partnerships that will enable us to have a good run at the mainstream without much kickback and without much resistance. So we're basically going to get our game on global stages right next to Street Fighter, Tekken, Brawlhalla, like the rest of the fight game community games. We want to be on the biggest stages. We want to be holding the biggest esports tournaments for the fight game community. And we want to be integrating, we want to make it seem, we want to normalize NFTs and play to earn and crypto, right? It's not that controversial. It's just a basic technology beneath the assets in your game. Games are already controversial. Like microtransactions and in-game economies are already kind of nasty. We make them better. So we really want to normalize this. I think in 2 years' time, the news on Fight Legends is that we're coming up on Street Fighter, Tekken, and UFC as the most played fight game on the planet. I think year 2 to 3 is where we overtake them, honestly. And then we become the most played fight game in 3 years' time on this planet. That's our goal. And it's a very, very tangible and strategic effort that we're putting in to achieve this. It's not really a pipe dream. It's a passion, but it's very strategic and very, very well planned.
That's huge. Thanks for sharing that. So a lot of things we can look forward to with Fight Legends. Yes, is there anything else you want to share within any aspect? There are some questions coming in from the community I want to go over with as well, but please, if there's anything else you want to share, maybe we missed something, maybe it's in your mind.
No, not really about the game. I'm down to ask questions. Usually I get triggered to yabber on once someone asks me something. So please feel free to fire some questions at me and I'll begin ranting.
Sure, awesome. Yeah, so there are some community questions. Also, you have a small giveaway that if people go to your Twitter and reshare it, they can win something. So guys, the link will be down below so you can check it out as well. A question of grown-up kids, like, are there UFC partnerships in the work?
So UFC is a difficult one to partner with because UFC are obviously licensed to EA Sports for their video game stuff. We do have people from the UFC in our seed round, I guess, fighters and coaches from current UFC, including champions. We have ex-UFC fighters lining up to be in the game. We've got a lot of association with the individuals, but the brand UFC itself, no. I am not sure we would be able to create a partnership with the UFC as a brand for our game with the current EA Sports paradigm, unless there's an agreed upon IP sort of crossover. And to achieve that, we really need, this is the sort of partnership we look at end of year. You know, once we've got that big crypto base of players, that's when we can start looking at IP crossovers. And obviously not many crypto games are going to get a lot of high-end IP crossovers. The top tier ones will, definitely, because they've got that value and standard. And obviously our game will as well, based on who's developing it. So I'm sure we can make stuff like that, but not initially. Most of the partnerships are outside of the UFC. Yeah.
Got it. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. The other question is more within the game. Will you implement injuries in the game so it will be more realistic?
Put what in the game, sorry?
Injuries.
That is a great question. That is great. Look, in fight games, the guy does get injured, but you're talking like, oh, I've busted his leg and now he's limping, right? Like that's the kind of injury, not just taking away his health or his hit points, but actually having an animated injury that changes the way the player fights.
I
would love to explore that. I'll tell you now that will increase development time for every character significantly,
yes.
But I would love to explore that. I'm going to actually put that to the team. We have not discussed doing that. And I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure games have done it. Their games have definitely done it, but not lately. Not the way I'm picturing it. That's a possibility. And look, in the first 6 months, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff that we play with, that we build into the game just once with one of the characters, and we put it to our community and see how it responds. We are going to do a lot of that stuff. So I guess, yeah, for the people in the testing community, they're almost definitely likely to experience something like that. But whether it makes it into the final iteration of the game, that's a different story.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great to test a lot of things out. You get really the community involved as well, and you can actually see what works, what people like, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, is this game also going to be available on a PC, on a computer, on a mobile phone?
Yep, absolutely. So PC, it will be initially just PC, then mobile plus console.
You're planning on console as well?
Absolutely. We intend to be playable everywhere. And look, we built in Unity partly for this reason. So it's when you build in Unity instead of Unreal, you widen the scope for devices that can play your game. Essentially, you can play the game on lower end PCs, and it's a lot better for mobile play.
That's great. That's good to hear. Yeah, smart to go on with Unity for sure. Is fight bet and this is more about the fight bet, is fight bet mainly for real MMA matches, or does it cover also betting for whoever would place first, second, or third in Fight Legend season tournaments?
So fight bet is definitely on the back burner. It's not something we're going to develop initially. It's something we will look to develop, third or fourth quarter this year, maybe even the following year. It really depends. Because Fight Legends has so much scope and scalability, we don't really need to do Fight Bet early. But fightbet.com is obviously something we've pre-purchased, ready to build. And we've obviously got a very large network that can bring on board fight sports betting from real world fight shows. But also esports betting is a fast growing demographic. So it's a very fastly growing market, sorry. So we definitely want to we want to have fingers in the esports betting world for the fight game community. But I mean, that'll be a separate company under the Fightcoin umbrella, benefiting the Fightcoin ecosystem, but it needs to be kept separate from gaming. I don't want to mix gambling and video games. There's kids that play video games. And I think they need to be kept well and truly separate, but that doesn't mean that the Fightcoin organization can't own both. So, we've got that opportunity right there in front of us. It's very easy for us to get traction there. So it is likely at some point, yes.
Awesome. Thanks for answering that. The other question was about from Taifu is asking, Manny Pacquiao, is he going to be in Fight Legends as well?
I am definitely going to approach Manny in the next 2 to 3 months, 100%. We obviously already have a partnership with a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion in the Philippines. Awesome. We work with her charity fighting child sex abuse. I think that charity and the work we're doing there is right up Manny's alley. Like, Manny does a lot of social good in the Philippines.
So for president, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's nothing that man can't do, right? He is such a beautiful human being. And I think, look, he's totally reachable. I know several people that know Manny. So I think we'll arrange to speak to him after launch. So he's sort of the after launch category of potential person. But I really want him in the game, right? Like, he would be a punches in bunches, speed puncher kind of character, right? Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. He'd be what is it called? Drawdown character. Yeah, it'd be great.
Cool to see for sure. Next that we had some more questions, but some are a bit irrelevant. And we got a lot of good comments from people. They love the vibes. They love it. They're gonna get bloody faces straight away because of all the many perks. So yeah, that's great. And yeah, you guys giving away NFTs as well. They need to go to your Twitter, right, and repost something. Can you tell a bit more about that, Will?
About which bit? Sorry.
They can retweet something on your guys' Twitter, right? And you guys giving an NFT away.
Yes, yeah. If you jump on there, you'll see right up the top of Twitter is our pinned post. I'm not sure if I'm still sharing the screen there or not, but head over to Fight Legends. We've got a whitelist contest and an NFT, win an NFT contest. So jump into our Discord, like, retweet, tag, follow the instructions. Yeah, we're giving away a bunch of NFTs and whitelists over the next few weeks. It's a bit of a celebration. So, and look, the community is still early, so there's plenty of opportunity for people that are coming now to get involved and win some NFTs and some spots in the token sale.
That's awesome. I'll join their Discord to learn more about the project and stay up to date with everything. And you guys also can win some whitelist spots and even NFTs. So that's great, Will. Those were most of the questions. I actually get to know actually everything I wanted to know. That we had some community questions. And again, maybe there are some still other things you want to share, Will, before we're gonna end this amazing AMA.
Look, we're prepping the launch in March. We will be launching on 1 or 2 tier 1 launch pads. I don't want to announce them yet. We're choosing our dates and sort of finalizing some things there. We've been very fortunate over the last few weeks to speak to a lot of tier 1s in the space, whether that's VCs, launch pads, or projects. And because of the stage we've gotten to now with our dev team and our product, and our tokenomics and everything else we're doing, we've sort of grown a lot over the last 6 months. And now we're getting a lot of support from the top. So it's going to be a really exciting run for the next, between now and March. We're doing a lot of work with Cointelegraph Japan. We're going to do a lot of activations, a lot of KOLs. It's going to be a really exciting rush. We're actually trying to, hopefully you can all help us hit 200,000 community members by launch, which would be fantastic. So yeah, stay tuned. Like, come and join our community, get active, get involved, give us feedback on the game, help shape the biggest fight game in the space and connect to our stars. We have Twitter spaces with Bob Sapp and Shannon Briggs and we have UFC fighters drop into our Twitter spaces just to talk to our community. The other week, we had a former world champion boxer, a champion MMA fighter and NFL player, and an Aussie UFC fighter, and we only had 10 other people in our Twitter spaces. So these guys were just chatting to these famous people about everything, about their life, about what they want to see in the game, about special moves. It really is an exciting thing. It's not often that members of the public get to be so hands-on with something so big, right? And I think that's a special opportunity that we want to share with as many people as we can. So all I would say is just come be part of our early community. Help join us on this epic rise, and we'll create history together. It's going to be incredible.
Amazing, Will. Very excited to see everything what's going on with Fight Legends and see the next steps and development of the game. Yes, and thank you for sharing everything so openly and so transparent as possible. So appreciate sharing everything, Will, and yeah, thanks a lot for getting deeper into Fight Legends.
Mate, my pleasure. Thank you very, very much for helping me.
Yes, my pleasure as well. And guys, in the end, if you want to stay in touch with Will and stay in touch with the project and everything what they have to offer, you can go to the Discord, you can follow on the socials, all the links are going to be down below. And also if you go to the Twitter, they're having some whitelist spots and even NFTs to give away. So check that out there. Guys, again, thank you so much for being here and always checking out the AMA. We had Will from Fight Legends here. And guys, have an amazing day. And Will, again, thank you so much, and we stay in touch.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.